Don in London, good morning, and it's Sunday the 19th of April 2009. My video is all about recovery from either substance addiction or behaviour addiction, and both substance and behaviour addiction. My substance over the years was alcohol. My behaviour, trying to be perfect, never so, workaholic, relationshipaholic, gymaholic, you name it. If I could try be perfect, I'd have a go. And the reason why, I didn't want to be found out, and I felt less than, and I was fearful of something. So these days what's made the difference for me is being part of a fellowship, just staying sober one day at a time. So I am a recovering alcoholic, and I go to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and the preamble which is shared at every meeting I know of in London, of which there are 600 or 700 a week. 600 or 700 a week, so there's quite a few people here trying to keep in recovery. There is a preamble shared at these meetings, and it goes like this: reminding myself always that I don't speak for AA or Alcoholics Anonymous, I speak for myself and what it does for me. That I do use the tools of the programme, so I share them with you here as best I can. So the preamble goes like this: Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So in that last sentence where it says our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety, there is nothing like going to meetings of AA, and my videos are no substitute. It might fill a gap if you can't get there, or it might just encourage anybody or everybody to examine where they are with their drinking or any particular behaviour which is out of control. And for me, my drinking got to a point where I couldn't stop. I knew drink was killing me, but at the same time it was providing me with oblivion, so I didn't have to feel or think too deeply about how horrible life had turned out. And you know, once we're in that spiral, downward spiral, we may have feared everything in life before. There is nothing as worse as being hooked and unable to stop doing something which we know is difficult to get over. And if it hadn't been for a moment of clarity for me, where I realised suddenly, after so many years of trying to do it always on my own and trying to be perfect, that I could not do this on my own, this addiction problem. So I guess really my spiritual awakening, if there is such a thing, and I do believe there is, my spiritual awakening was, in the moment, simply realising I cannot do this on my own and I need help. And I turned to professionals, medical people, who helped me get detoxed and put me on a programme of recovery. And what's maintained it over the years simply is being in fellowship with other people who have the same malady. So Alcoholics Anonymous has provided me with a safe haven to understand how to live my life again and do it on a daily basis. So it sounds easy, but it's not, because every element, or every, I suppose, atom of our being, having been converted to addict, says, no, I want more, and I need it. So how does it happen? Well, simply, we are all teachable, and we can all learn again if we are able to get over the craving and then move into a place where we can just try and make one day work. And the simple news is that if we can make it work one day, we can add them up, and eventually we start to realise that life is better without the addiction, substance or behaviour, and we can make life work again, and do it by getting continued and, I suppose, constant support from people who know exactly what it's like to be in recovery rather than be in the problem of addiction. And that's why I do these videos, really. It's my morning meditation as much as anything, so there's a benefit for me because it gets me focused on what is going on for me. As you can probably tell, my nose is blocked and I've got a cold. But today, for the first time, I don't actually feel guilty about being ill. And that's a big turnaround, and it's down to not me, but other people saying, you're allowed to be ill, you're allowed to be in recovery. And if it hadn't been for that, I would have gone soldiering on, trying to stop doing something on my own, using my willpower, and it doesn't work. Simply because if we're using our willpower, it means that we're continually fighting a battle. And the gift of sobriety is really surrendering to knowing what the problem is and what the solution is. And the absolute solution is actually being in fellowship for me. And no amount of, I suppose, self-determined will ever worked for me. But you know what? It can work for other people. So whilst not everybody gets into recovery from AA, there are other recovery vehicles available. And on the right hand side of this video, on the YouTube at least, is a link to aboutalcohol.com, and that will give you an idea of what else can be done to help somebody who's trying to get into recovery. So I share my experience, strength and hope here, and yesterday I threw the toys out of the pram at a meeting because I was cut off by another person, and it made me a bit angry, and I realised it's okay to have some anger about and be indignant when people are rude. And I don't know that the person thought they were being rude, so immediately afterwards, having thrown all my toys out of the pram, or picked up my ball and gone home, I realised that my angry outburst about it to people who can do nothing, they're powerless like me, well, that's it. I forgive. I have to forgive me for being angry, and also forgive the other person for stepping on my toes. You know, anger and resentment are the number one offenders when it comes to spiralling back into the problem, getting angry and taking a drink on that. Anyway, it was only a small thing, but you know, for people who have spent a lifetime trying to be the best they can and felt less than, it's very easy to get back into old thinking and feeling. So for me, I just try and do it as best I can. I'm running out of time. I don't realise sometimes how much I go on. As Bill sees it, one of the books I use to share experience, strength and hope, it says here, page 80, debits and credits. Following a gossip binge, we can well ask ourselves these questions. Why did we say what we did? Were we only trying to be helpful and informative, or were we trying to feel superior by confessing the other fellow's sins? Or because of fear and dislike, we were not really aiming to do damage to him? This would be an honest attempt to examine ourselves rather than the other fellow. Inventory taking is not always done in red ink. It's a poor day indeed when we haven't done something right. As a matter of fact, the waking hours are usually well filled with things that are constructive. Good intentions, good thoughts and good acts are there for us to see. Even when we have tried hard and failed, we may chalk that up as one of the greatest credits of all, that we're on the right path. And it's easy to come off the path, as I know, and when we do come off the path, it's a good idea to get back into reality of where life is serene, which is accepting the truth that we can all get angry about something, and then we realise it's just what it is and let it go. Anyway, for April 19th in this book, Daily Reflections, 1 page a day, I'm just checking the time, I have enough. Brothers in our defects. We recovered alcoholics, not so much brothers in virtue as we are brothers in our defects and in our common strivings to overcome them. The identification that one alcoholic has with another is mysterious, spiritual, almost incomprehensible, but it is there. I feel it. Today I feel that I can help people and that they can help me. It is a new and exciting feeling for me to care for someone, to care that what they are feeling, hoping for, praying for, to know their sadness, joy, horror, sorrow, grief, to want to share those feelings so that someone can have relief. I never knew how to do this, or how to try. I never even cared. The fellowship of AA and God, all good conscience, are teaching me how to care about others. And that's really truthfully the message which I needed to hear yesterday, but I'm hearing it today. That it's not about me, it's about how I am with the world and how others are with the world too. And if we can make it a bit smoother for them, then it comes back and makes it smoother for us as well. So forgive and forgive and forgive. So when I say, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and just do it for today, I get the wisdom to know the difference. What more could I ask for?